Chapter 6. The role of the language we use. The importance of language in positive thinking is underscored by the fact that thoughts are typically formulated in the form of language. This is especially the case during intimate conversations, issues or subjects that an individual thinks or even discusses with self. Therefore, positive thinking is directly impacted by the type of language one adopts. For example, if one uses negative language, then it is difficult to maintain positive thoughts, which means that adopting a language that is encouraging and supportive helps establish a platform upon which positive thinking is built. Positive language. Speakers of the English language often have the option of choosing a positive statement or a negative statement in delivering the same meaning. For example, "Come to the meeting on time" and "Do not come to the meeting late" both provide a similar message. However, the connotation behind the former statement is significantly less negative. This highlights the influence of language in the binary choice of either positive or negative sounding, which also applies to thoughts. English is laden with several opportunities to formulate negative speech instead of more positive dialogue, and thus offers users a chance to choose the tone of their language and the depicted attitude and mentality as well. Consultants in the business sector argue that the choice of a positive language bolsters the ability of effective communication between 30 and 40% times than when a negative version of the language is utilized. The choice of positive words, language, is crucial in shaping the type of thoughts and inner conversations that you have. Therefore, choosing positive words will help bolster positive thoughts in your mind. Encouraging supportive and triumphant ideas will inspire you towards positive conversations with your peers, family, and those you are working with as well. Positive thinking also underpins a positive mentality and attitude, which is essential in encouraging progress in some of the issues you are facing at home, in the community, or at work. Therefore, this shows that the type of language or thoughts one adopts, positive or negative, have a significant impact on their behavior and mentality, which means that this choice affects their brain. Positive and negative language and the brain. Studies that focused on the functioning of the brain and its relationships with the words that an individual uses reveal that words have an impact on the brain and how it functions. For example, when you choose positive words such as loving kindness, love, and peace, you can modify your brain functions through the surge in cognitive reasoning and bolstering the activity in your frontal lobe. In this case, maintain the use of positive words in an extended period can lead to the activation of motivational centers of the brain. This will lead to marked manifestations in your attitude, mentality, work ethic, and overall approach to specific tasks in life and work. Alternatively, when you choose to use negative words consistently, you stand in the way of the production of certain neurochemicals which are crucial stress management. Therefore, negative words often lead to the surge in negative thoughts which in turn lead to the activation of the brain's fear center. This induces the production of stress-producing hormones into the system. As a result, these neurotransmitters and hormones interrupt the flow of the reasoning and logic processes in the brain and thus disrupt the normal functioning of the brain. Therefore, the choice of language has a significant impact on the overall thoughts that an individual adopts. Positive words bolster positive thoughts and vice versa. Additionally, positive thinking is crucial in establishing a hormonal balance in the brain that encourages motivation, a positive mindset, and the willingness to perform to the best of an individual's capacity. On the other hand, negative thoughts are a significant drag on the functioning of the brain, which is manifested in the negative, demotivated, and stress-driven mentality that is dull and lacking in drive. To adopt positive thinking, there are several aspects that one must adopt. These are highlights by the significant characteristics of positive thinking, as discussed below. Characteristics of positive thinking. Monitoring your self-talk. People typically talk to themselves consistently. In many cases, the external dialogue begins with the inner one. Therefore, positive thinking is characterized by the choice of positive language in the external conversation. This is because just like the internal dialogue influences the external exchange, our choice of language in the external dialogue will also affect the inner thoughts as well. Therefore, there is a need to choose a positive language in the way you dialogue externally, which will, in turn, shape the thinking you adopt into a positive one. Establishing a psychological space. Positive thinking is essential in helping individuals to address unexpected events in their lives. For example, when something happens to a person out of the blue, it is typical to have a knee-jerk reaction that is often negative. This is especially the case when an individual has negative thinking. However, positive thinking establishes a psychological space that pauses, takes some deep breaths, and seeks more information before the knee-jerk reaction. Therefore, positive thinking allows you to be more measured and deliberate in handling different issues or meeting various events in life. Moreover, this approach will enable you to create some distance between the subject event and your reaction. In many cases, in negative thinking, the line between the event and the reaction becomes blurred, which means that any logical thinking is inhibited because of the surge of subjectivity. Therefore, positive thinking allows for a considered reaction after weighing all the viable options from different perspectives. Positive responses. The view or perception of an event can be either positive or negative. However, by adopting positive thinking, you can see events in your life either through a positive perspective or at least a neutral one. Therefore, instead of placing blame on others, you can take ownership of your role in improving things. Additionally, it helps you to communicate confidence and optimism to the rest consciously. Positive responses also help establish strong overarching relationships with others, which bolster happiness, positivity, and motivation of others. Such good relations also reflect on the self in the form of self-respect and self-confidence as well. Become a positive contagion. Positive thinking plays a crucial role in shaping the mentality, attitude, and even behavior of an individual. People adopting positive thinking exude self-confidence and the trust of others to do the right thing. This is especially important because we tend to mirror the people whom we spend the most time with. This underscores the need to make sure that when people mirror you, they display positive thinking, healthy behavior, and a motivated mentality as well. The underlying aim here is to lift others as opposed to bringing them down. The importance of positive language. Positive language highlights what you can do as opposed to what you cannot do. It also highlights a caring mentality, focuses on the individual abilities as opposed to the disabilities, and overall seeks to highlight success as opposed to failure. In spoken language, it helps inspire, encourage, support, and motivate others to achieve the best they can. In thoughts, positive language is crucial in highlighting individual competencies and thus helps to establish self-esteem, confidence, and belief that are crucial in achieving laid-out targets and overcoming challenges as well. Positive thinking comes in the form of what succeeds as opposed to what fails. Therefore, this mentality is problem-solving because it highlights areas where you can help, repair, improve, enhance, or fix the current challenges. It magnifies the individual's capacity to solve the difficulties, which helps inspire the coming up of solutions, minimizing the discouraging fear, and bolstering motivation even in the face of adversity. The relationship between positive thinking and a positive attitude. A positive attitude is desired in many aspects of life at home, in the community, and at work. Therefore, there is a need to actively pursue the nurturing and development of such attitude to bolster your chances of success at work, relationships, and relating to social constructs in the community. In many ways, positive thinking plays a central role in the adoption and development of a positive attitude. However, it is essential to note that positive thinking is not a naturally occurring concept of life. Instead, it is a conscious choice that an individual adapts to influence their life in a targeted way. Therefore, a positive attitude can be acquired through the adoption of a positive thinking approach and the overarching perception of the world as well. Some of the ways one can adopt a sustainable and effective positive attitude include reading motivating and inspiring stories regarding people that have achieved success. This will motivate and inspire you as well as show you the areas in which they succeeded in making the right choices that led them to success. Using affirmations, creating mental scenes of success, and actively avoiding negative thoughts to thrive in your mind will establish a platform for positive thinking and thus a positive attitude. Moreover, adopting a proactive lifestyle will help you to avoid getting negative. If you keep yourself busy, the chances of developing and harboring negative thoughts will be markedly reduced. Therefore, this section highlights the importance of positive thinking to be its influence on the attitudes and behaviors of the subject individual. In this regard, positive thinking bolsters the development of positive behaviors characterized by motivation, self-confidence as well as supportive behavior. Chapter 7. Steps on how to train your mind to think positive. Step 1. Observe your thoughts. The first step to training your mind to think positively is observing your thoughts. The truth is, most of the negative thoughts we have often creep in at a certain time, place, or during special events in your life. This may be explained by the fact that we are creatures of habit. For instance, you may be anxious whenever you have a trip coming up. Or you may be stressed because you have an interview up ahead of you. Or it may be that what is causing you to be upset is because you had a major fight with your spouse. The moment you know the negative thoughts that keep bothering you, it will be easy to devise a plan to resolve the problem. For instance, if it is a job interview that is causing you stress, you will simply start preparing early and asking people who have attended similar interviews for advice. Everything starts from your thoughts, so be on the lookout for negative thoughts and their possible triggers. Step 2. Scan for the 3 daily positives. Every single day, we have experiences and encounters, some of which are negative while others are positive. Therefore, before you decide to go to bed, you can make it a habit to reflect on 3 positive encounters you had that day. It can range from someone buying you coffee at work, watching the sunset with your husband, or landing a new client. It can also be small things like a compliment from a coworker, friend, bumping into an old friend, making a new friend, or watching your kids play. All these are more than enough to make you happy. Step 3. Give someone a shout out. Gratitude is important. According to research, gratitude can make one optimistic and can even help ward off heart disease. The best place to start is by keeping a gratitude journal where you record all the things you are grateful for every single day. However, I have discovered that sharing gratitude is far much fulfilling and satisfying in life than just writing it down. Here, you can record anything from just thanking yourself, child or spouse for all the hard works, complimenting your friend, having a discussion with your spouse about how their day was. This may feel a little weird at first, but with time, you will appreciate just how awesome it feels to give someone a shout out. Step 4. Help others. Each day is an opportunity for us to help someone in need. Most people think that helping someone is only about giving them money. However, helping others may take any form from just helping a friend organize their work project to helping a colleague with invoicing. It may be helping someone in the kitchen with the cooking or the dishes. It may be holding the door for someone, buying a stranger a cup of coffee as well as volunteering among others. Just find anything that you can do for someone today. Daily, try putting a smile on someone's face and watch what positivity that has in your life. Step 5. Surround yourself with positive people. Did you know that emotions are contagious? Imagine walking into a room happy and jovial, and you find people gloomy and sad. What effect will that have on you after having a meeting with them for an hour or so? The truth is, you will leave that room feeling worse than you found them. So, it is important that you pay attention to the people that you interact and spend most of your time with. If you spend time with people who like complaining and blaming others, you will soon be doing the same. Therefore, the only thing that makes sense is you surrounding yourself with people who inspire you to be a better person, giver, lover, and friend. Step 6. Look after your body and mind. Based on research findings, it is evident that when you take good care of yourself both physically and mentally, this will influence happiness and satisfaction in your life. It is through this that your mind will learn to think positively with time. For instance, when you eat healthily and work out regularly, the body will tend to release feel-good hormones that will lift your mood and change your general outlook of life. One of the best ways you can train the mind to practice positive thinking is by meditating and practicing mindfulness through yoga. Mindfulness is one of the most important steps in helping you stay aware of your thoughts and feelings without necessarily passing judgment on whether they are good or bad. One of the ways you can practice mindfulness is setting 3 separate alarms throughout the day. When the buzzer goes on, you simply stop what you are doing to take a deep breath. This goes a long way in restoring balance and positivity to your life. Step 7. Let go of all the negativity so that you can have inner healing. One of the tricks of becoming positive is uncovering all the negative thoughts we have and then releasing them all. Do not try to hold back, just let them go one after the other. It is these negative thoughts that often bring us pain and wounds in our lives, and we can never progress if we cannot let go of these degrading thoughts. It is only when we are able to free ourselves from negative thoughts, we are able to build a new system of affirming beliefs that can empower our future. Step 8. Make time to do something that you love. This is easier said than done. However, it is one of the most important steps of winning back positivity into your life. Start by looking around you to determine the things that you enjoy doing. The truth is, the action does not matter, but what counts is that you love it. This could be reading, singing, teaching, sports, movies, or cooking, among others. Start by setting aside time each day from just an hour to focus on the things you love. Free up some time to do something that you genuinely love and enjoy. These are some of the things that impact your happiness and fulfillment in life, and you do not want to miss out on them. Try to fix it at the time when you have the least amount of distractions. Within no time, you will realize how that changes your thinking to one with more positivity than you ever thought possible. Chapter 8. Thinking Systems for Success, Planning Positive Future. Progress in human life is typically constituted of overcoming challenges and hurdles in life. Therefore, for one to succeed, they must solve the challenges and problems they face personally in their lives as well as in the external environment. There is a need to engage with the environment, which is highly influenced by the ability of the subject individual to think and assess the current climate, their capacity, and subsequently come up with solutions. However, the challenge to this approach is the natural predisposition of human beings to using shortcuts. Every time there is an alternative, quick, cheap, and easy way to achieve something, people typically adopt it. This negatively affects their ability to think outside the box and come up with solutions as well. The underlying basis of success in the short, medium, and long term is developing good habits deliberately aimed at achieving success. However, good practices constitute more than just having a checklist lifted from a book. Instead, it is about nurturing and developing winning systems that become natural to you, second nature, and work towards the targeted goals of success. However, coming up with the right systems, thinking to overcome challenges and achieve success is not straightforward because of the unpredictability, volatility, ambiguity, and complexity of the world. Overcoming the uncertainty of life cannot be achieved by gaining more control. Instead, developing agility, increased speed of learning, accelerated thinking, innovation, and creativity will allow one to adapt and adjust every time the inevitable evolutions and changes occur. Some of the significant areas of systems thinking and planning for success are discussed below. Addressing failure. In the pursuit of success, failure is often experienced. Most of the people that have succeeded in life have experienced different types of failure at various points of their life and the process of success. Therefore, there is considerable value in paying attention to the people that have succeeded and turned their lives into a success story. In many cases, successful people are just like us. They have experienced many failures. The difference is that they kept working on their ideas, refining the process until they finally succeeded. Success is typically achieved through the application of precise and detailed systems that are subsequently followed strictly in the same way every time. However, this approach to systems thinking faces the challenge of a continually evolving and changing external environment. This means that the approach adopted by one individual to achieve success might not be as effective for another individual because they will be facing different external environment dynamics. However, it is essential to realize that the way we choose to address and complete a task is often the most difficult. As a result, this highlights the need to pause and reflect on the tasks at hand, objectives, and then choose the most effective way to achieve targets efficiently. People don't immediately identify the most efficient methods and ways to accomplish the same work. This underscores the need for reflection and deep thought in designing the best way forward to optimize not only performance but also reward. Moreover, it is paramount to always be on the lookout for ways to improve performance, including through creativity and innovation. Experimentation and tinkering are a crucial part of this process because it allows you to determine the methods to finish the job and accomplish great work as well. Developing a winning formula. The winning formula refers to the approach adopted by an individual to gain success in the targeted areas of life or business. In many cases, a winning method begins with positive thinking. There is a need to adopt a positive attitude towards both the methods adopted as well as the objectives of the project. This way, you place yourself in a mentality that seeks to solve problems, innovate, and create ways to success as opposed to negative thinking that picks out the potential problems and therefore tones down the enthusiasm required to succeed. A positive thinking approach and attitude also rub off on the surrounding people. This helps create a motivated, targeted, and precise approach and environment that bolsters the chances of success. Additionally, a winning formula is typically precise and targeted. This narrows down the areas of focus, which is essential in enhancing creativity and innovation to increase the chances of success. Doing things in the right way is also a fundamental aspect in achieving success. In many ways, the right way includes treating others positively, encouraging and motivating others, and seeing the best in the opportunities and even challenges. Therefore, positive thinking helps establish an overall environment that supports and drives success at an individual and collective level. Establishing your systems. Developing a personalized system for thinking, planning, and innovating is crucial in bringing you closer to your goals. This requires a deep insight into an understanding of self as well as identifying how to shape and coach yourself regarding your approach to life. This includes getting rid of your daily inner conversations of negative thoughts and worries and replacing them with positive thinking. The target here is making things as easy as possible for yourself while also ensuring that you accomplish your responsibilities and goals. Therefore, it is vital to give yourself the luxury of thinking about how you can do things in a better way. Some of the means of developing and sustaining a winning system are discussed below. Understanding and assessing your process. It is essential to understand your thinking system before you can go about fixing it. This allows you to establish an overall and deep understanding of your strengths and weaknesses, as well as how you operate. Spending time to get to know yourself is a crucial step in establishing your position in the thinking system. Evaluating your process is important as well. For example, if you are staying up until 1 a.m., it could mean that you do not have enough sleep and thus having trouble getting up. Therefore, self-assessment will allow you to understand the aspects that are working and contributing towards your success as well as those that are holding you back. The resulting priority will enhance your capacity to succeed. Studying others and their actions. Researching what other people are doing is essential in shaping and developing both your thinking system as well as progress towards success. Therefore, whether it is a mentor, someone you admire, or an individual that is famously successful, it is important to find how they do things. Learn some crucial lessons of their thinking systems, approaches, attitudes, behavior, and mentalities as well. There is nothing wrong with using what is already available to achieve success. If you can utilize someone else's thinking system or positive thinking to achieve success, then go for it. Moreover, you can tweak what you need to fit your specific needs as well as the prevailing external environment to optimize the chances of achieving success. Anticipating challenges. Hurdles and challenges typically characterize the road to success. Therefore, the ability to surmount some of these difficulties is the marker of success. Challenges that are anticipated are often half-solved. This means that if you see a problem coming, it is easier to prepare and come up with a solution compared to when a problem surprises you. This underscores the importance of anticipating challenges. Developing the foresight of understanding the medium to long-term future is important. It is also essential to establish the implications of such dynamism. It places you at a very advantageous position to surmount such difficulties. Aside from the preparatory advantages, such anticipation allows you to change and adapt in a manner that not only avoids the negative effects of change. It also harnesses such change forces and turns them into a value-creating opportunity. Adaptability and flexibility are remarkable because change is constant. Without agility, the capacity to sustain success is diminished. This is because the external environment is continually changing, and thus demanding that individuals adapt their approach to achieving success. It is also essential to maintain honesty and openness with yourself to recognize and admit where your process breaks down. Making attempts, even when you experience failure, is crucial to build systems for success and ultimately succeed. Conclusion. Change your thoughts, and you change your world. Norman Vincent Peale. There you have it. The most effective ways to change your life is ensuring that you employ a positive mindset. It may sound straightforward, and yet you must read this whole book to find it easier to have positive thinking. Now you know what positive thinking is and the power of thinking positively. At this point, you know how to move from a negative mindset to have a positive thinking and a positive attitude. One thing that you must understand is that positive thinking only forms the first half of the power of your mind. The other half of the power lies in the actions that you take once you have positive thoughts. This is the point where your willpower comes into play. It is your willpower that determines whether things will get done or not. It is this willpower that corresponds to the inner voice that tells us to act for our thoughts to come into reality. Realize that your mind and willpower are not distinct from each other. If you don't see it in your mind, you can never manifest it in reality. You must have a completely positive mindset and conviction that you belong there and that you will achieve any dream you desire. To do that, you will have to shut down all the negative thoughts and self-talk that tell you otherwise. The best you can do is to overpower this negativity with a triple dose of positivity. You simply tell yourself that you are strong enough and have the confidence it takes to win. This way, you will focus on the nitty-gritty of your performance in the ring. By tapping into the wells of positive thinking, attitude, abilities, and skills, you become unstoppable in and outside the ring. That is what life is all about: positivity for happiness and satisfaction.